the Hidden Heroes talk show, Ariel and Aaron, highlighting those who are doing great in the world around us.
And now, here are your hosts, Ariel and Aaron.
Hey!
Hi!
Welcome!
Thank you.
With us today we have Monique Coleman.
Hi, ladies.
Hi! Will you just tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you're from, what you do, a little background?
Yes, so my name's Monique, and I am from South Carolina. I live in LA. I am an actress. I would say most known for playing Taylor McKessie in the High School Musical movies. And in the last couple of years, I've done a lot of work advocating for young people and for girls. I really tried to use my platform with High School Musical and all the people that really supported that film to try to take all of that and make a difference.
I love it. We are so excited to have you. When was that film, or when did High School Musical come out? How many years ago was that?
So yesterday was actually the 9-year anniversary of the first High School Musical. We did 3 films over those years, and the last one came out in 2008.
Nice. And now you currently live in Los Angeles?
Yes, I live in LA. I love it. I spent some time in New York also, so I kind of feel I was a little bi-coastal for a minute there, but I do live here now.
Awesome. Well, I want to talk to you about a couple of things. I saw one documentary you did on homelessness, youth homelessness. Yeah. And I saw a TED Talk you did as well. What motivated you to start talking or being an inspirational to teens? Is there a background? Is there a short story here with your own personal life, or is it just kind of always a passion?
You know, to be honest, I feel like it was always it was like a seed, right? So when I was growing up, I always was kind of reaching back to what I consider the next generation. But I was only 12, or I was 16, and I felt like in some ways, I think maybe this passion comes from knowing that at that age I had so much to say and so much I wanted to express and so much I believed that I could do. And I had some opportunities and resources, but I feel like by giving young people those opportunities, they can actually realize those dreams at a younger age, and it can prevent them from going down certain paths that you just don't even have to go down. So I think for me, it was something, the seed was planted in my own life growing up, but then being a part of High School Musical and having that level of success and fame at that time, and it just not really feeling very natural to me. It didn't feel natural to get that much attention, to be in so many places, and I realized that the bigger the platform, the bigger the opportunity to actually use that. And so I think that being a part of that film and connecting to so many young people opened my mind up to the fact that maybe there was a bigger purpose. Maybe this wasn't about me and my career and moving me forward, but maybe this was supposed to connect to that theme of something that I always felt, which was that young people have the power to change the world. So I used High School Musical sort of as a vehicle to do something that was always in my heart to do.
Gotcha. I love it. So then when did the youth champion for the UN come in?
So after High School Musical, I kind of had like, it was a little scary and sad, to be honest, you know. So much of my life and energy had gone into that, and I was kind of afraid of what I was going to do next. And I find that, that during those times, the best thing to do is to give back and to really pour yourself into something else. So I started my own foundation called Gimme Mo, and the idea was to inspire and empower young people through dynamic conversations about real issues. At the same time that I was doing that, the United Nations was also launching their International Year of Youth. So it was just one of those things. I know people out there have had this experience where it's like you think something and then you bump into somebody that's doing that very thing. So that was in 2010, in the fall. And so coming into 2011, my now husband and I initiated a global tour where we traveled to 24 countries on behalf of the United Nations to really try to understand what the issues are that are facing youth, so that it wasn't like, oh, I'm just sitting in LA and I really care about young people and I'm not doing anything. I wanted to know what's the difference in young people in LA and to Australia, from Australia to Africa, from Africa to Bangladesh. Like, what are the things that separate these young people, and what are the things that draw them closer together? So for me, that was the most probably eye-opening, life-changing, transformative experience I've ever had, and it just really made me know that this was a commitment. This is something. This isn't a trend or a moment that I'm having. This is something that I will, in everything that I do, always come back to and always commit my life to.
So, of course, like all this traveling and meeting new young people and going to new places, that like bumped up your future goals, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So, how do you think they changed now? Like now, what are your future goals?
Well, now I feel like I understand the difference between your passion and your purpose. Because after doing all of that, I still came back to realizing that me alone, no person alone can change the whole world. But we each have a part to play. And that by being myself and doing the things that I love to do and not actually pushing those aside, that gives people, more people, permission to do the same thing. And so, ironically, I've come, I lived in New York and I was like going to the UN all the time and doing all this stuff, and I realized that I want to integrate it more in who I am, that I want to do films that are about real issues and that are huge movies so that I can continue to maintain that relationship and also maintain my passion. I was put on this planet, I think, to advocate, but also to fulfill the talents and gifts that I was given. And I want to be, an exceptional actress that, people love to go see my films. And then when I'm there, I want to talk to you about what's going on and really make that, make them go together instead of choosing one over the other.
I love it. Do you have anything in the works for 2015?
Right now, there's a film that I'm excited about. I don't know when it's going to come out. It's called Naomi and Eli's No Kiss List. It is starring Victoria Justice, who I just adore. She's just a precious human being. And then I'm actually an associate producer and acting in a film called I'll Be Home for Christmas, and that should hopefully come out this coming Christmas. So,
congratulations!
Yes, thank
That's
you.
awesome. What advice then would you give to young people who want to make a difference, but they need to follow their responsibilities, go to school, as far as acting class, all those things? What advice would you give a young person?
I would say to start with your passions. I think sometimes we feel like what we want to do and what we should be doing are different. And more I'm learning that they're actually the same. That there's a way to apply the things that you love to do, it could be you love makeup. There's an organization that goes into old senior homes and senior residencies and does makeovers for the women there. There is literally something that you can become a part of for every single thing that you love to do. So my advice would be to not try to be someone else or to do what looks like service, but to actually just do things that you're passionate about and start somewhere. And I actually was just looking at the Instagram page for Hidden Heroes, and I saw a quote that said, you don't have to know everything in order to still move forward. And so I think that's a great piece of advice. You don't need to see the whole picture. You just need to see what's right in front of you and take those steps.
Well, do you have like a quote that you live by or a quote that helped you out a lot?
Yeah, I think the quote that's kind of stuck with me for like a decade is, it says, "The jump is so frightening between where I am and where I want to be. Because of all I may become, I will close my eyes and leap." So that's kind of how I look at things. Like, I think we are going to be afraid of things. We cannot walk around and say, like, just get over your fears or get over, what your feelings. But you can harness them. You can use those things. And so I like that quote because it acknowledges that you're afraid, and it says, be afraid and do it anyway.
Mm. Yeah.
I love it. Monique, where can followers connect with you?
I'm all over. I'm on Twitter at GimmeMoTalk, and then on Instagram _Monique Coleman.
Awesome. And then as far as your foundation, do you have a website?
I do. We're in kind of a transition right now. It's gimmemo.org, but we're working on coming out with some really exciting things, hopefully in April of this year.
I love it. Well, Monique, it's been an absolute pleasure. Our time has come to an end. You two are hidden heroes, so we appreciate you being on here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a fantastic evening. Everyone, you're listening to Hidden Heroes with Ariel and Aaron, and our hidden hero of the day is actress Monique Coleman.
Bye.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.